Hello everybody. My previous videos I was doing a lot of Celtic wood burning, so today I thought I'd bring you something a little different because this is the other part of what I do. I make faux floral designs, very Celtic inspired designs, things like that, candle holders, floral arrangements. So anyway, this one is a sample of what we're going to be working on today. I managed to finish one of them yesterday, so I have a kind of a feel for where this is going to go. We're going to use, hopefully you can see that, this is a upcycled, repurposed cabbage bowl. It's probably a vintage something or other, but you took that, I put floral foam in it, and this was hand painted by me. I did the design, I hand painted the trays, I cut and glued the trays together, painted on a knotwork design, and then on the bottom, hopefully you can see that, I put some felt on there and some felt padding to protect the bottom. So anyway, that's kind of the base of what we're working on today. The finished product looks like this. I'm going to tilt it up a little bit so you can kind of see the top of it, right? And yep, so that's kind of the finished product. I don't think I'm going to add anything more to that. I think it's perfect the way it is. So we're going to call this Fairy Floral Patch, I think is the name, the working title that I'm going to give this little work of art here. All right, so let me move this out of the way. And we're going to bring this into frame. So this is what we're working on today. The materials that I'm working on today, of course, my E6000 glue that I always use. I use the spray for certain things and the glue for other things. I'll show you that in a minute. Some stones for inside the tray. These are going to be the main flower. These little roses, little miniature roses. Gotta love Hobby Lobby, guys. It's my new fascination. So the greenery that came with these are these, and I just didn't like them. So I'm substituting for these, which I feel have a better look. They have a little bit of nice coloring in it that goes a little bit better with the bowl. I just like those better. We got some succulents, and I already processed these. I cut things into little bits. I buy the bunches and then I chop them up so I can use them. We're going to have, this is a little bit of accent color, little purple berries. It works beautifully to add a little pop of color. And these are my main greens with a beautiful white stripes in there. I really love that. It adds a little bit of contrast. So that's kind of what I'm working with today. In the bottom of this, so that we don't see the floral foam, I'm just going to place some little bit of moss there. You won't see it, you won't see the foam when I'm done. But we're going to just do that. We're not even going to glue it because the stems and everything are going to hold it in place. So that's how we're going to start. That's the base. Now I think today, the plan, I don't want to make this more than maybe 30 minutes. So I think the plan today is just to kind of get it started. I want to put some stones in the bottom. I want to get the white roses and a little bit of the greens in there. And if I don't get to finish the video, today, then possibly tomorrow I'll do another video and we'll do the finishing touches, right? But we'll see how far we get today. The first thing I want to do is line my tray here with my stones. So the way I do it, and I've been asked before how I keep my stones in place, because I do that a lot with stones. This stuff is amazing. Now it doesn't dry as quick as your craft glue, but once it sets, it's pretty much set. And I like it because if you get it on something else that you don't want it on, it's very easy to just rub it off, including your fingers. It doesn't bother your fingers. All right, so the first thing I do when I want to do a layer of stones, and I'm going to try and keep this in frame, and hopefully this squirt bottle squirts, because sometimes they don't. It's just kind of spray the bottom with a layer of glue. Just so the bottom of the stones have something to stick to it. And then I'm going to see how we go there. We're going to give it a bit of a shake to get it all sort of even. I think I might add a little bit more in this corner, in that corner. Anywhere where I think I'm kind of missed, I'll add a little bit more. Alright, I think that's good. Now, we spray the bottom and they'll stick to the bottom, those that are touching the bottom. However, we need to spray the top because the one sitting on the top will fall out. So we just do the same thing again. And this dries clear, so you don't need to worry about it staining or looking weird. It does dry clear, and actually it has a bit of a wet look, so that can add a little bit of something. Give it a pretty good healthy spray of this glue, and then it'll do its thing. And the one thing I do want to do, because I know that I have glue to go all around the edges, I'm just going to wipe my edges. Okay, so first part is done. Quick and easy. That'll dry, probably be totally set. I would say don't bother that too much. Don't turn this thing upside down or anything until tomorrow. So give it like a day or a day to kind of really set. And then turn it upside down and see if you have any loose ones. And then you can just spot glue anything that falls out. But for the most part, they do stay in. All right, so the next thing that I want to do for this is work on my roses. Because I practiced this on the other one first, I put things in and pulled things out and experimented, so I came up with this process because I think it works better. I wanted to place these flowers first because I want to get a nice balance. So I'm going to use my cutters, and I'm just going to cut these down to size. Let's see, doesn't really matter. I'm going to stick them in. I think I have 10 of these, and I don't want them too long. I don't want them too short. One's going to go in the middle, and then I think I had 4. I'll do the math as I go. I worked it out yesterday. All right, but let me just trim a couple of these. And don't throw these out, by the way. They can be useful later on. Is it in frame? They can be useful later on, so don't throw them out. Sometimes you need to wire them up to something because you cut it a little too short and you need to wire it up so you could stick it into something. These do have little notches in them already, that indents that make it easier to cut. I more or less use those. Sometimes not so much, but don't be afraid to cut your flowers. That's what they're for. You can't use them as bunches. They don't look good that way. You have to cut them. That was one of the first mistakes that I made years back when I first started this. I was thinking that I had to use them the way that they were sold. And no, you don't. All right, so let's pick something for the center. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's too long, I'll cut it. But let's see. I'm thinking that's a little too long. So let me pick something that's a little bit shorter. Something that's got 3 on it though. Is that a little shorter? Yeah. All right, so that's nice. That'll be for the center, but I want it to stay in place, so I'm going to use my handy dandy E6000 glue here, and I'm just gonna generous amount of glue and jab it in there, and it will stay once it dries. All right, so we got the center flower. Now I want to start working around the outside. So I said I had 10 of these, right? Let me count them, make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That came off. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I have an extra one. I have 11. All right, so we're going to start working around the outside. Some of these I'm noticing are just too long. All right, I gotta stop this video for a moment. Somebody's knocking on my door. Okay, we're back. One of the drawbacks for working from home, right? So anyway, we're gonna start going around the side. So I think I'm gonna do probably 5. Since I have a bunch, I'm going to do 5 to start with around the sides. And again, with my glue, just really kind of generously giving it. And we're going to stick it in to the sides, not too deep in. We want it to kind of hang over the edge. Let's see. I'm noticing this bowl is a little bit higher on one side, so I might use some of the longer ones. On. Okay. Let's see. And this is just about spacing it out. Spacing them out. I'm putting an odd. I'd like to have an odd number. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm gonna put that aside for a moment. Fiddle with that later. Some of them I cut too long. No problem. I'll move on. All right. We have 3 in there. We have 4. And we'll put the last one here. Something that's not too long. I like that one. We're going to put that in there. All right. So I have one in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around the perimeter. And I have 4 left that I can put, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have an extra one I can pop in the middle if I want. I'll fix that later. But I think I want to cut these down because I think they're a little bit high for what I'm looking for. That one should be all right. This one needs to be cut. And this is just a little bit of experimenting with the size of them. You kind of do want to start with them being a little bit longer rather than shorter. The longest one I'm going to put on the side that has the high. And we're just going to put it on the inner ring now, closer to the center flower. So we have 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, if that makes any sense. It's good to work with odd numbers because from a design perspective, odd numbers, at least start with odd numbers and then you can work even numbers in. And it just creates a sense of balance. I'm going to put this one over here because it's a little longer than the one I have left. Oh, these roses keep popping off. All in. Looks like I'm going to have room for 5. So the one that I took apart, I'm going to put back together. Actually, I think I'm going to take that out and put it somewhere else. If I can. I can't. Okay. We'll just leave it then. Alright, let's put this back together. Where did this come from? Okay. And then we'll put it here. I don't love that sticking out so high, so I am going to just take it apart again. No rules here, just you want some in, some out. I'm a little not too thrilled about this little spot here. And this is where these come in handy. Let's see if I can put this back on one of these. One of these that I cut off. I'm going to try and use it. Yeah, that works perfect. Perfect. And we're going to put it right there because that's an empty space. This was attached to one of the other ones and it was just down too low. It was like not working for me. So there we go. We've filled that little spot. And this one's just being a problem. So I'm going to do this again with another piece. Okay. All right. Now put it in there. All right. So we have our base of our roses. Now I think the next thing I want to do, once I get the glue off my fingers, see, it rubs right off. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with E6000, you know. I'm just, this is what I use, this is what I've used for years. It works well for me. And that's, yeah. It is a little bit of a mess though, but that's okay. It's a good mess. It means you're getting stuff done. All right, now the next thing that I did when I did the other one is I put in the rose greens. I put these in, and I think I put, if I'm not mistaken, I think I put like 4 or 5 around the perimeter. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pop them in wherever I think they're going to look good. So let's see. I don't want anything too short. Again, I processed these. And sorry if my arm is in the way. And we have it's a problem sometimes when you process them though. You don't know what exact pieces you have, but here we go. Here's another one. So I have 3. I think I'd like 4 or 5. 4 or 5 of these. Here's another one that's 4. Let me see if I can find one more just in case I need it. I can cut that. All right. I'll just cut. Oh, I actually don't have to cut it. It comes off. All right. So I have 5 of these. I have 2 shorter pieces and 3 longer ones. And basically, I'm just gonna. For now, I'm just going to pop them in so that they make a collar around the outside here. I don't want too many. They're just basically there to show that they're the leaves from the roses. So what's going to happen is there's going to be like 4 or 5 around the outside, and then probably 3 somewhere in here at random. All right, so let's get started with this. These are too long, so I'm going to have to cut them. All right, so I think we're going to do one there. That's a good spot. And you're just looking for balance. You're looking for even-ish spacing. But remember that nature is not perfect, so don't try and be perfect. It will look awkward. I know from experience, I've done it. All right, so there's one. I kind of think I want that to go in a little further. And make sure the leaves are turned up. There's one. And this spot, so we're going to put another one here. I think we're going to put one here, because I think I'm going to do 5. So put one here, and my glue's a mess. My fingers are a mess, but that's okay. All right. Move stuff out of the way. There we go. That's 3 on that side, and I think I'll do 1 here and 1 over here. They definitely need to be shorter. We're just slathering on the glue, not being particularly precious about it. It will stick, it'll stick to everything that's around it. All right, now 1 here. And one of the things that I've been learning as I've been doing this is to work fast. Only for one reason, because intuition is a powerful thing. So I can't lift it too much because I got stones in there, but hopefully you can kind of see the effect that has. So I think I'm going to put 3 in the middle here, and they're going to be smaller pieces. And if my fingers don't stick to everything, see if I can find some smaller ones. There's 2, and I need one more. That's 3. Okay. Now, just kind of generous. It's going to be goopy. It's going to be a mess. That's fine. The more glue, the better. And we're just pushing it as far down as you need to. You don't want it to be too crazy. You don't want it to be too tall. I'm going to cut this. All right, and we're going to put one in here. If I can get it in there. Okay, and then one here. How long is this video? Oh, we're not too bad for time. See how fast I'm putting this together though? But again, if you work fast, your intuition tends to take over. And it tends to tell you what it wants. All right, so even now, it's coming alive, right? So I don't like this too much. I'm gonna fix this real quick. I'll give it a spin. If you don't have one of these, I think they're called Lazy Susans. If you don't have one of these and you do this kind of stuff, or any kind of crafting where you have to see all the way around, priceless. You should get one. All right, get some of the glue off my fingers. So the next step, I think, is I'm going to start putting in just 3 of the purple berries, just 3 of them for now. There'll be more in there, but for now, just 3. And I like working with odd numbers. Get rid of that. All right, so I have 3 here. They look kind of nice. They are kind of long. So we are going to cut them. Cut this one. I'm not being precious about it because you're not going to see the end of it. Don't even need to stick these into the foam because they're going to stick to everything else that's in there. Right? So I think I like this one here, and I'm just going to lay them there so you can kind of see where I'm going with it. One there, and then I think one there. All right, so we're going to start there with that. And just gloopy, gloopy glue. Have fun with this. I get really stressed out when I do these things sometimes because I am so much of a perfectionist, but just have fun with it because it is fun. It's really fun to see it when it's done. Okay, yeah, like that. All right, let's do number 2. And look, you know, you do something you don't like, it doesn't turn out quite the way you like it, just pull it apart. You know, yeah, it's a little extra work, but not a big deal. Just pull it apart, try again. All right. So now we're starting to see some color in that one. Let's give it a slow spin this time. All right, slow down, die. I get a little excited when I do these things. All right. Now, what I have next are the last two ingredients that are going to go in are these beautiful little flowers. Did I show the succulents? I don't know if I showed the succulents. These things are amazing, and they'll add a little bit of something to it, a little bit of variety in size. And they sort of complement the same shape as that, but they're smaller. It's a different color green against all the other greens, so it kind of goes well. But let me put in some of these greens first. So I'm going to do the same thing with these greens that I did with these rose petals, or rose stems. I'm going to put several around the edge, and then a few in the center, and see what I think from there. And then from there I will probably put in some of these. And then I think we're going to end it for today and let everything just kind of set and dry, and then I can come back tomorrow and I can do some of the finishing touches, you know, to fill everything in and add where I see empty spaces and stuff like that. So what I think I'm going to do, instead of making a whole separate video for that, I think I will put links to my Facebook and Instagram at the end of this video, and that's usually where I post my finished pieces, so you'll be able to see it there. All right, let's get started with this. A little bit of glue. All right, and I'm just going to put in where I think I see gaps. I've already kind of cut some of these a little bit. This is thin enough that I can... Now, when I did my first one, it took me a while because I was experimenting. So this time around, I have a little bit of a feel for what I'm doing. And I can go a little bit quicker, get it done quicker. The goal is to have this one done by tomorrow. I have a lot going on this week. My third and final son is graduated high school, so I have a party I have to get prepared for, and I need this counter for food in like 4 days. So I have to get this done. All right. So we're started. Now I think I'm going to put another one maybe underneath this rose, just kind of pick the rose up from the edge of the kind of give it a little bit of a collar. This is a nice little gap in here we can do something with. Put one there, and I think I'm going to put another one there. I'm not being too particularly picky, no perfectionist here. I don't like it, I can pull it right out. Okay. And we're just going to keep on going. Now I have two more of these trays, and I have yet to decide exactly what I want to do, whether I want to make more 2 more of this with the same flowers, or do I want to go and get totally different flowers and give them a different look? Maybe drop some comments in the bottom and see what you think. Let's see. And I think I'm going to put something here, and then I'm going to start putting stuff in the middle. So anybody else out there do crafting? Crafting with florals? I'm kind of envious of any of you to have dedicated spaces for your crafting and whatnot. I have to use my kitchen to do this kind of stuff, and as you can imagine, sharing a space with 4 other people, 4 other grown-ups now that live in the house, and 2 cats, it is not always fun. All right. And I think I'll put one more over here. I'm kind of doing a little bit of filling in gaps and a little bit of thinking about 3s and 5s, kind of those odd numbers. All right, now, the last thing I think I want to do today are these beautiful little succulents. I love these succulents, I love these. All right, so I have a whole lot of these. I have some 3s, some 2s, and we're just going to take these wherever I think I want to kind of break things up and add a little bit of variety. That's where I'll put them. So, where do we start? Where do we want to start? I think I'd start here, right there. Again, let your intuition guide you and just go with it. Just go with it. You don't like it, pull it out. Put it somewhere else. Okay, see how that breaks that up? The color just sort of breaks that up a little bit. I definitely want some up here in the center. So we will do that. Where? And I'm thinking about 3s as I do this. I think I'm going to put one here. Give me another one that's 2. And I'm going to put it here. More or less in between these purple flowers, actually. Again, it's not perfection, but it is letting your intuition and a little bit of design theory kind of. Now see how that all plays together already? We have variety of stuff there, nice visual variety to look at. All right, so I think I'm going to end this by putting a few more around the collar, I guess you'd call it. I see a spot right there that needs something, right there. It needs it. It needs a succulent there. Ah, glue. It's screaming out for a succulent. There we go. There's a succulent right there. All right, right there. We want to break that up. I don't think I want to put 3 in there though. I want to put 2. You get a little heavy-handed with okay. All right. And there. And I think we need one more in here somewhere. I think we'll put a small, like a 2. A pair of them in there. All right. So before I can do anything else, this has to kind of dry. But I'm going to show you what I have so far. And when it's finished, it will have more of these green leaves. Probably, definitely more of these green leaves, and a few more little sprigs of this purple in some empty spots down in here. But for right now, I got a lot going on, and I would really like it to dry before I do anything else. So that took us, what, half hour? Half hour to do that. It's not finished yet, but it is almost finished. So let me know what you think in the comments. When we fill in these leaves, we are definitely going to come in here and we're going to create leaves overhanging down, to fill up these corner spaces like this, because we don't want, a lot of space underneath there. We want this to kind of look like it's overflowing like it does here in the front. We want it to look like it's kind of overflowing. So that's it for today. I'm going to wrap this up for today and go do some other stuff that I really need to get done. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, don't forget to, you can drop them in the bottom in the comments. I'm going to try to remember to put the link to my Facebook and Instagram in the comments or in the description, so that you can see the finished product when it's all done. And I'm going to get off camera and I'm going to clean all the glue off my fingers. E6000 glue comes right off. Beautiful, comes right off, and you don't burn your fingers like you do with craft glue. Alrighty, so I'd like to wish everybody a terrific day, and thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you were entertained a little bit or learned a little something. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. I get a little excited when I do this stuff. This is my first time actually doing this on camera, so let me know how I did. If you have any suggestions for me, go ahead and drop them. Just be polite, please. Be gentle. And have a great day, guys, and thank you for joining me. And also thank you for, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can get this video out to more people. Okay, see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.